Alright, hello again, guys. I'm going to do a review on my Polaroid pictures. And to start off with, here's all my black and white ones. I didn't have very much because I gave a couple to my little brother. And then here's my color ones. I should have almost all my shots. I think I have 6 of them. But I think I gave another of the 2 of them to my little brother as well. But to go ahead and start these off, I think most of these, if not all of these, are double exposures. So I'm going to go through them and explain them all for you. This one I really like. This was one of the first photos that I took. Actually, let me restate that because I went through the color film first, but whenever I was leaving the park, this was one of the first ones that I took with the black and white. So this was him standing up next to this sign in Cheyenne, I believe. It was right outside of Cheyenne in Larimer in Wyoming, and this was at a state park. I don't know what state park it was, but I really liked it. He was standing up by the sign, and the first shot I took was of this brick wall, and if you look really closely, you can see it right there going off right there and up, and it even goes out and stuff. But the only thing I have to complain about is I don't know anything about the brightness or anything yet, so I don't know whether this needed to be brighter or darker. I believe this one needed to be darker and brighter in the first one and darker in the second one, because I think the colors just really messed with each other, but I really like how distorted it looked. Here's another one that I played around with him. He was standing in water in this picture, and the water was like pretty much black around him. And then I went and took a picture of this tree, and I love how this one looks. I was actually wanting him to be more off in the distance, but it ended up being a super close picture. And then if you look really closely too, you can also see that the plants are coming through him, and he looks majorly like a ghost in this one, and it's really cool. Here's another one. I let my little brother take this one and the next photo. This one was before he understood how to do the double exposure. He's 7, to let you guys know. So I think it's really awesome that he took this good of a photo. I love how this one turned out. And here's the second one. It didn't turn out as good. I told him to get super close to this brick wall, but I don't think that he understands the viewfinder as much as I do. His photo that I took of him in this exact same way, it doesn't have any of these borders, and these bricks are a lot bigger and closer. I love how his turned out, but this one's super awesome for a 7-year-old. I love it. I'm going to show him this whenever he gets older, trip him out. Here's another one that I really liked. This was supposed to be a triple exposure, but I also messed it up. There was a crosshair kind of like mirror in this restaurant, and I could have done it better because I think I should have had brighter lighting in there. But the first photo was of my little brother in this one and me in the top one, and then the second one was my little sister just in this one, and she was pointing the camera in this one to kind of give it this distorted effect, because I wanted it to kind of have even more crosses and stuff like that going out through it and just make it look super crazy and distorted. But I think I really needed to mess with the brightness in this one. I think this one needed to be brighter, and as opposed to some of these other ones, like maybe that brick wall needed to be darker, and then the outside picture would be brighter. Same with the other one, the brick wall being darker, outside being brighter. I think all of those would have turned out. But I think the only reason why this one turned out as good as I wanted it to be is because he had a dark background behind him. So that one was already ready to go to the next one, you know, like it wasn't too bright already, you know. So that's it for the black and white ones and all the double exposures, because I don't think I have any for this for the color film. This one was my first picture I ever took on my camera. It was actually second picture. Okay, it was my first one that worked out. My second one that I took, because my first one was black. I took this one. It was with the flash on, and it was with my ceiling fan light on, which I think's pretty bright. There's like 3 or 4 bulbs in there, and it was at like 12 o'clock at night. So I mean, it was pretty dark, but I don't know. I thought it would pick it up, but I think it looks really awesome how it looks. It looks super mystical, sort of like I'm at a festival, because you can't even see the tapestry. Like that thing's pretty bright, and especially with my light on, like I don't know, you can see it pretty vivid. But I love how that photo turned out. I just think if I want to shoot at night, I really need to play around with more light. And I've seen people get these awesome light bars, like whether they're like tiny, like about the size of this picture, or a light bar that's like, I don't know, big, like 2 or 3 feet long, and they use those. Those things are sweet, but I don't know. I need to invest in some money for that. But for right now, I think this looks cool. If I want to take a picture at night, I just need to really keep in mind the lighting. Um, Here's another one. I really love this one. This was full brightness out in the sun. There was nothing else like blocking it. Like the only thing that was kind of putting some shade on this picture, there was a tree off to this side, and it was creating this crazy shadow like over here, and I love it. It makes this like look so cool. I almost thought that this looked like a double exposure at first because of how distorted this picture looks on this wall, and like even with that vent right there, it makes it look even more like a double exposure. But it's not. That was actually painted on the wall, and I think this one's a super rad photo. And I think another thing that makes it add to the illusion is because you can barely see the roof, and it's super bright up there, so it makes it seem like I almost did 2 photos, but it's not. That's all one photo. I really like that one because of that. Here's one that I let someone else take. I was going to do the auto timer, but I figured, hey, why not share the love, let someone else experience it. It was an older gentleman. It was pretty cool. He loved it. He took a picture, but whenever he took the picture, he held down the shutter and turned it, then let go. So, I mean, it's not super, super blurry. Like, I mean, it's super blurry back here, but here it's not as bad. We're not as bad, but our faces, you can't see anything. And I really think if he wouldn't have done that, you would have been able to see us, like, without our faces being, like, just bright white. This one I really liked. My little brother actually chose to do this photo. I didn't want to do it, but he was like, this one's going to look sweet. And I actually really thank him for this because it's amazingly nostalgic look. This was out of school in Larimer. I actually thought the sign was pretty funny because you can't really do drugs anywhere. So why put a sign up out of school? But I understand the point. I just think it's really funny. It's like redundancy. So I took a photo of it. It looks really awesome. I just think this is a funny photo. Here's another one. This is one of my first ones I took with the color film, like besides my selfies. And it was of the sky. This was full brightness. And I don't know why this was dark, but I like it. I think it was because I got too much of the sky, maybe. And it was just kind of like focusing on the sky. If anyone could give me some tips on this horizon picture, I would really like it. That would be really much appreciated because I really want to take some more pictures of the mountains and the sky, and I want to get it right. But here's the other side of that train, and I really like this side of it too because this one looks cool. But this one doesn't look quite as much of a double exposure. This one actually looks like it was painted on the wall. And I like that you can kind of see the power lines in the back. It really makes it look that much sweeter. And then here's my very first photo I ever took. Yeah, you guys can laugh at me, I know. Amateur hour. But I tried taking a photo. It was at half brightness. I used the flash, and it was at night. But that was the same one to add to this one. I tried to take the exact same photo. I just actually turned up the brightness all the way on this one. And yeah, these are reminders to play with good brightness at night. And here's some reminders of outside is perfect, full brightness. And this one's a good reminder not to hold down the shutter and turn, because that will make your picture super blurry unless you're trying to do that. Another thing that you can do that I think someone taught me, I don't know if this is exactly the best thing to do, so don't take this like 100% for accuracy, but I think that if you hold down the shutter longer, it'll take a nicer photo, but you have to keep it super still, because I think on these train photos, and then also on this kind of photo, I let the shutter hold for a second, and I kept it super still, and I really like how it came out, because I think it made it look even more nostalgic. It kind of faded out his pants, because his pants are a lot brighter than that. Made his shirt a lot darker, because that shirt's two-toned. Like, his sleeves were blue, and his regular thing's red. So I really love how this one really made it look that much older by just holding down the shutter. And I don't know if that's actually what's happening, or if I'm just new to cameras, but I don't know. I think holding down the shutter for just a second or two makes it that much difference than just click it, But that was my review on all my pictures. I hope you guys like them, and please tell me which one you like the best, and tell me if you guys have any ideas or tips that you guys could give to me. Hope you guys like this, and I hope this helps someone out.